Grapevine is brought to you by Verve, and it's right here on Smooth 98.1. Today is the 10th of January 2019. We'll have fantastic stories for you. We'll have great music to start with. But first, here are a few ways to contact us.
Most definitely, please reach out to us on our WhatsApp platform. The number to do that is 0809-444-0981. That's 0809-444-0981. Also, your tweets come to at Smooth91FM. Please use the hashtag Grapevine981.
Fantastic. And our special entertainment analyst today in the studios, James Silas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. What's Jeff? That's missed. We miss you guys. And Oris, thank you so very much for letting us know exactly where you are. In the meantime, in our usual Grapevine tradition, Lagos. My name is Valentine, by the way. And that's Kayode Baker.
Yes, right here.
He's busy with that. All right, Lagos, let's start the usual tradition of listening to really good music. The first one is from Richie Smile, the guy that was featured on the video Soccer, and the song actually, viral music, Soccer with Wizkid earlier. Richie Smile has enlisted producer Jeff Bezos for this new bop, and it's called You. Lagos, take a listen. Volume.
Album, right?
I'ma take you up and lift you there. Keep you safe and bring you everywhere. I want make love to you in the moonlight. I want to hold you, girl, in the moonlight.
Alright, let's go.
I want to see you shine
you ready?
next to mine.
Put the mic first.
Anything that you want, baby girl, you decide.
Fantastic. That song is called You. Lagos. It's from Richie Smile. His real name, Richard Tassie Sampson. He's popularly known as Richie Smile. He started 2019 with this notes called You. But what do you think, James Silas?
Yeah, not a bad song. But somehow I got bored along the line listening to the song. It was just the same progression, the same, it just kept going. It was just flat. So I think that's pretty much why, that's the hitch for me when it comes to this particular song. But I thought it wasn't a bad effort at all. But I got bored listening to it. I'm glad.
You got bored.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think it's a cliche. This song reminds me of this guy, World.
Yes, show you off. That's
Show
on
you
there.
off, basically. But the
I
thing
know I didn't
is,
sing it quite well, but you get the point.
but the thing about the song is that I like the fact that the progression is great. It's the new sound. The problem is that the lyrics are not interesting to me.
quite
It
worthy.
sounds cliche, it's the same thing we hear over and again. And I like the fact that music is evolving, but I want the lyrics to evolve as well. It's just as though the artists get into the studio, they say, "Give me a beat," and then they just sing like raps or something, and there's no effort.
Well, I feel like he did an averagely good job here on this song. I mean, it would be unfair to say he just went to the studio and say, "Give me beats for," because it seems like he put a little work into this. It's below par, I agree, but yeah, it could be better. But I like the beats. I like the vibe.
Do you sort of
The fact
get
that
the
it reminds you of
similarity?
World, in fact, it's a
World, yeah, that's
first of
what I
all.
was going to say.
Yes,
I wanted to ask if you.
But
had
it's a bad
similarity
thing.
in
Yes,
terms of
yes,
the
yes.
It's a bad
texture.
thing if your song reminds me of another artist.
No, it's not a bad thing.
It's not necessarily a bad
I
thing.
think
in
it
Nigeria.
sticks. It works.
It
In
does
fact, one of
work.
the formulas of making music today is do something memorable, something that you can connect to,
So yeah,
like a nursery rhyme, something you can connect to is good.
so it works. So if we can't write the songs very well, the lyrics are so good. At least the reminder should work.
Yeah.
Well, that's You from Richie Smile. Our next song that we'll be sampling is from one of the duo who surprised us yesterday. I wasn't surprised because I already knew what was going on in their lives, but then yesterday, well, we'll get to that story. Let's sample this song.
Don't jump the gun, bro.
The video was released. The original song itself was released about 7 months ago or thereabout. But the video to the remix, we have so far about 2 remixes to the song Ire from Adekunle Gold. This new one is from Pheelz and it was published 4 days ago. We copped it and we want you to take a listen, Lagos. It's a vibe. Ire, the remix with Adekunle Gold and Pheelz.
Seems greener on the other side. That's what I thought before I took the ride. I burned my bridges, so I never look back.
There you go. There you go. The remix of Ire. This one is Adekunle Gold featuring Pheelz this time. He has another one, another remix that we'll be checking out much later. But this had a video that just dropped 4 days ago, and we thought you would really love it. You would love the vibe. I love the vibe. I don't know about you, James.
Yeah, I love the vibe as well. Feels like it's quite creative. This is something you expect sometimes from maybe a DJ. You know, all those DJ version, DJ mixes. Well, this one came out
Like Neptune.
nice. Like, you know, those people.
Imagine Neptune mixing this into his
Do you understand?
vibe and all that.
So, which is what this is the
really well.
idea. The idea of coming up with this version. And when you have a good song, you have to look for various ways to actually, you know, present the same song.
Yes, in a
With a different feel. So it sort of increases the longevity, what's called increases the lifespan of the song itself, and it's a great song. I love it.
I don't know why
It's
you
not
guys why you like the song. Was there a need for a remix in the first place? That's my
bad. No, not necessarily. You don't
exactly.
No, let me tell you,
Kayode.
you don't need to. It's not a need. It's not a call for a need to say remix this song or do something else. Sometimes somebody entirely, which is what I think would have happened. Pheelz just was in the studio messing with the keys and came up with this and said, "Oh, cool stuff. Let's put it out."
And then we did a video. I don't know.
No, they didn't. It wasn't
got a boy
a
that
conscious
was
effort.
dancing.
Not necessarily.
It was a dance video.
Not necessarily.
It was a
It's just
dance video per se.
Well,
And I would say, for a fact from experience, I know that songs that have really good remixes that sound almost better than the original song. I'm not saying this one is a case in point. It's almost like it's a testament to how good the song is and how diverse the elements of the song can be spun into newer tracks and newer sounds. And this is one of those, that, like you said, has a longevity, stays more relevant over time.
So I want to ask Kayode, do you think this particular version or this cut took out anything from the
no,
original?
definitely didn't take anything out of the original. But like I always say, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. I like the fact that it was good the way it is. So don't mess a good thing up.
No, this is not fixing it, Kayode. I don't think it's fixing
Have you heard?
Are you gonna jam this song in the club?
Absolutely.
Are you gonna jam it in your car?
Are you kidding me?
I won't.
Yes, I will.
I will
In
not.
fact, let me tell you,
Definitely.
when I saw the video, which I think you guys should come to, when I saw that video and I listened and I watched it, I saw that guy start moving from that train station.
I didn't know we could dance like that. To the song.
Bro, I thought to myself, you need to go back and just learn how to dance the steps. They probably left in the crib.
I know. how to
That
dance.
guy can move. And I encourage everybody to go watch that video. By the way, we posted links to the songs you just checked out on the Grapevine 91. The first song was You from Richie Smile. It's captioned You. You remember Richie Smile, the guy on soccer with Wizkid. The link to the song You is actually up on our Twitter handle at Smooth91FM. Use that hashtag Grapevine91 to find it. The second song you just heard right now, the E-Ray remix, Adekunle Gold featuring Pheelz this time. Lagos, send us your messages and let us know what you feel about the songs and send it through WhatsApp. That WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981. If you're following us right now on Smooth91FM on Twitter, you'll catch all the dates there. Alright, so we'll have time to go through the story. Genevieve Nnaji thanks fans for accepting Lionheart. How many of us saw it? Lionheart on Netflix.
I did.
Oh, that saw it. Say aye.
I.
The eyes have it. You remember that part of the movie where Nkimo finished us with that?
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. When I saw that movie, I said yes.
It was great.
But I don't know, man. James, what do you feel about that movie?
Oh, I mean, I thought it was in terms of the storyline. From storyline, I just thought it was an average and decent movie.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I support him.
I thought it was an average.
You feel the same way too?
in terms of
Why?
picture quality,
My
fantastic.
Genevieve.
Calm down.
Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, average is not bad.
Mm.
Yes. In terms of picture quality, the scenes, the shots, angles, and everything, I thought it was beautiful.
It was spot on.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Even though I still feel like some, it was sort of darkish. Yeah. Some of the scenes.
He had a
were
dark aesthetic. It was good.
Do you understand? Yes, which is not bad really, but I thought you also improved or sort of was significant in the color, texture, or whatever of the
grading
movie.
of the movie.
Yes, thank you. So, but for the storyline itself, I just thought it was a basic story. It wasn't. There were no element of
There was no
suspense.
twist in the plot.
I thought, I just thought something was cutting. I thought Nkemo was going to take over. I thought the Lionheart himself was going to what's his name? Peter J was going to pass on, and then Nkemowo would change the narrative entirely
And
and
spoil things.
I thought he was going to harass Genevieve, but none of those things happened. It just I was waiting for the wow factor and didn't come.
I'm going to summarize this as Nigerians like bad news, but anyway, let's conclude on that. We'll come back after the break. We do have to take a break, Lagos. You're listening to The Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verve.
You're listening to Smooth 98.1.
You should not be spoilers. You have not seen the movie.
Let's spoil it.
Oh,
Let them
I
know.
will see the movie.
Review it, but don't tell them the story.
I tell them story.
Now they know that
Your mind helps you
Reference is the
understand
Lionheart
every
guy.
stumbling block
And
is
then
Yeah, but they
actually
would
a
have known
stepping
that
stone.
before now.
Yeah,
Verve,
right.
your
I didn't know
vision
that
helps you
before
see
seeing the movie.
nothing but
Don't you was the Lionheart
possibilities.
guy?
At
That's what
Verve
you
in your
said,
hand,
Was the
well,
father?
let's just say that's how you get rewarded.
Okay.
Why the movie? Let me go and watch.
No matter what you're
Come on, like,
into,
community
Verve is
stuff.
key
We have to
to
talk about the
opening
movie.
doors
Let's
in
go
your
on,
life.
please.
So,
Everybody, I tell the story.
It's okay.
Verve, the rewarding way to make payments.
Wake up the smooth breakfast way.
Let's go.
The best of everything in the morning and more.
Have you
Really?
ever been on the queue at a supermarket or a restaurant?
No, because I don't
Finally, it's your turn and all the things you picked have been scanned. You bring out your card to pay and whoop, the cashier says declined. At this point, you freeze. The person behind you would have most probably have started putting their things on the counter. And all the eyes on the queue are on you. Everybody is frustrated and tired of the queue, and in that moment,
So now that
you
one
are
is
the one
clean.
to blame.
In a good
You
way
know
and
the
in a bad
feeling.
way.
Your belly does a flip-flop as it welcomes your heart. Finally,
Hey
you
guys,
find your
Valentine.
voice and say to the
Follow me on
cashier,
Instagram at
please,
Valentine
try
Ohu.
again.
We'll hit you.
Or you begin to search your wallet to see if you have enough cash. But of course, you
Love
don't.
you guys. Love all the
That
followers of
feeling
James
can
Silas.
never
Yeah.
be explained
Follow
enough.
me now.
I'm
It
here
reminds
too,
you
please.
of
That's
all
how
the
it
things
is.
that could have
You guys,
gone
what's
wrong
going
that
on?
day,
How
and
the
just how
gentleman.
frustrating life is.
Cardi Baker
It's
too.
the
Yes, follow
proverbial
me too.
last straw.
And that's
Imagine though
Producer
that
Tupac.
in that moment, what you had was a Verve card, and as you handed it over to the cashier, the payment went through. You would have walked out in an instant with a smile on your face and a sense of satisfaction that no matter what happened today, a screaming boss, annoying traffic, and all that, something came through for you. Here you are, able to reward yourself with exactly what you want. That is why you should ask your bank for a Verve card today, because you deserve something that works all the time. Visit www.myverveworld.com, that is www.myverveworld.com, to discover the reliable awesomeness a Verve card offers.
Smooth.
Okay, you ready? Bring back.
Love music. Love music. Love life.
The sound just takes me back to the 80s. Lagos, you're listening to The Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verve. In the studio with us is James Silas.
Yeah.
Good morning. That always just surprises gets me. It gets me. Well, still talking about Lionheart. Oops. Spoiler alert. Because Genevieve tweeted, and I like her tweet. She says, "Thank you everyone for accepting Lionheart the movie. That's the hashtag into your homes and your hearts worldwide. And this is how we change the narrative together. Let us continue to bridge the gap." All right. Let's move on to this next story. From Lionheart, we move to another movie that probably would be turned into a sitcom. Alakada by Toyin Abraham. She said she made an announcement on Monday saying that 10 years after the release of Alakada 1, that there will be a sequel in 2000 coming. Supposed to be coming later in 2019, but what I'm saying is different. But then the Alakada story follows yet to the animation Toyin Abraham, who plays a girl who's coming from a poor family background as a result of an inferiority complex, engages in the act of making up stories and lying about her financial and social status in order to fit into the crowd. Did you see that sitcom at the time?
The movie.
It was a movie, yes.
Yeah.
The Instalment. See,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't at the time.
Here's
watch
my problem.
movies. until Lionheart was it. What's
Here's
your
my problem with that, right? It feels like another Jennifer to me, right?
Yeah.
And this is the problem. It's good. The first one was good. It wasn't over the top. Like, I'm sorry to compare movies, but it wasn't over the top for me like Jennifer was. But she's done a good movie. I don't think she should make it into a sitcom because we have Jennifer's Diaries now. It seems as though it's a cliche of what's already happening. Now, if it's a money-making move, fine, that's understandable. But if it's to make a movie that people will fall in love with and
Did you
enjoy,
like it or not?
I didn't.
Okay.
Long
No,
and short of the story,
I mean-
it's a cliche. That's my problem. There was no creativity.
Of course, it's a money-making move. There's no way if you turn it to a sitcom, it's a movie, it's a money-making move. You want people to advertise on it and everything. But I don't want to play it out yet. I mean, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I feel like, and there's room for. We want more sitcoms. We want more programs, more
quality
interesting stuff
sitcoms
on TV. So let's see how it goes. All they need is just good writers. Tinsel has been running for the past how many, and people are still enjoying it.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
And good critic it helps shape the form of the movie and how it comes out, how it
Definitely.
actually plays, especially the sitcom. With a plan in mind. Now, Don Juan sent this one from Festac. Don Juan says, "When I don't begin 2019 with all this cliche music, I mean, make una behave as ourselves. You do not like the song? It's not like Adekunle Gold's remix.
I don't like it.
With Pheelz. Kayode seems to be okay." Kayode from Kayode says, "Hello, we want something new. Nigerian artists from new Nigerian artists. They always sound same with each other. Very interesting." Kayode from Kayode, thank you very much for sending that one. Lagos, a quick reminder here, two things. First is that we have the links to the songs up on Twitter. Use the hashtag Grapevine91 and you find them there so you can listen and critique as well. Send us messages through WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. The second piece of information is the fact that, actually, the second out of three, the second piece of information is the fact that you can send in your song. So if you're a budding artist, you can send in your material to us right now. Send it to breakfast@smooth91.fm. That way, a team of analysts will look through the song, listen through the songs, and see if it fits the show or not. But don't be scared, all right? Just send it to breakfast@smooth91.fm. And then the third is Grapevine is brought to you by Verve.
Yes, we'll be gentle, by the way. So when you send in your music, we won't go all ham on you.
Yes, we won't.
I didn't promise that.
So here's something we've been promised. There's the fact that Nigerian comedian Basketmouth on Tuesday evening shared a creepy movie poster on Instagram showing not just his face, but a very creepy face of Basketmouth, announcing that his first feature film is set for release. He says, and I quote, "For 6 years I've been working on my first feature film, my most challenging project. I kept it on the low because everyone I told doubted my ability to pull it off." He wrote as his caption. He continues to say, "Today, I present to you The Exorcism of Alu, a horror thriller movie. Brace yourselves for this one." Are you holding your breath for this, James?
Of course. The title reminds me of Alu 4.
Exactly.
So I don't know if, of course, I don't think it's going to be a connection to that story. But it will be interesting. This poster, it will be interesting. I would like to see how it will. I mean, what kind of the storyline? What kind of story is he going to tell with this one? Horror movie. I don't think I can't remember any successful. Maybe Diamond Ring. Was that horror? Maybe perhaps, or going back to really another. So, but I don't think there's. I don't know.
Yes, go
And
on.
that's why I'm excited about this because not a lot of people can, say they want to make horror movies and do them very well. In fact, when I saw this, it reminded me of Exorcism of Emily Rose, but I thought that there might be a connection. I hope there isn't a connection because it would just be cliche again. But for him to take a daring step like this, not to do a love movie or to do an action film that we always see,
or comedy,
it's a great one. It's a great one.
Yes, it's Basketmouth. First of all, he's a comedian.
So yeah, we should expect that.
So I'm thinking, is this a teaser of some sort for
Maybe like
something
Scary
bigger
Movie?
than we, take it? Is there a cliffhanger to this? Something that we do not expect to happen? Is there? He might just come out with a show at the end of the day and say that's the show that's made for a movie. I don't know, but I'm just.
It'll be funny too.
But the curiosity is right. That one I would admit. Somebody sent in a message. Please add your name to your message. Your number ends with 8332. He said Lionheart was just there for me. And Shola says, please, that isn't a remix. Let's talk about a remix with Adekunle Gold and Pheelz. Just change the tempo and no, I will not jam it.
Oh,
Kayode, your friends are here. Send your messages through Twitter as well. Send it with the hashtag Grapevine981. And then this one here, that is okay. All right, we'll read this later on, but please use that hashtag Grapevine91. The next story is about Tunde Kelani. He says he's unwilling to release a new movie, and pirates are the reason. Veteran filmmaker Tunde Kelani said in a recent interview that it's not wise to release a movie which will be pirated 24 hours after the release, and I agree with him. Kelani further said that he has works that can be released, but he has deliberately decided not to release any of those in the last 4 years. In his words, he says, as a matter of fact, there was no time I left my job as a filmmaker, but for the last 4 years, I have not released any new production. I have movies I can release, but it won't be wise to do that because it will be pirated within 24 hours. It's not sustainable to keep working for pirates because we invest a lot of our movies. And this, I would agree, is very frustrating. He continues though. He said his last movie, if you remember, was Dazzling Mirage. However, he said that he's hopeful of things improving in the new year. He added this. He said piracy has affected the traditional DVD distribution network, so we have to look towards technology and other platforms. This year, I think we'll have solutions. Kelani, will recall, resigned as chairman of the board of National Film and Video Censors Board. He's focused more on his film academy, the mainframe film and media institute. So the day after the announcement was made about this Lionheart movie being on Netflix, I saw it on the streets.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah, I saw it on the streets, and it just raised a deep-seated concern that we still have of piracy in Nigeria. Most people still excuse it.
Yeah, but you see, the thing about Lionheart, the difference here is this. The movie was sold to Netflix, so a certain amount of money was paid to the producers of the movie. And this is a route I think that Tunde Kelani can take, because he talked about CD distribution. Today's producers are taking their movies to the cinemas, and they're taking them to Netflix, and their specifications for the type of cameras and all the aesthetics that you need to make your movies go there. So that is what movie producers should do now. If you're releasing your movie and you're putting it out there, people are going to definitely pirate it. But if you go the digital route, you might make some money off it. And I don't blame Tunde Kelani. You might put a lot of work in your movie, and you not even make half as much as it. So cinemas are the route to go. And
shouldn't that be a way of protecting your franchise or protecting your production?
They do, but those people there don't care.
And there are Blu-rays. You can do Blu-rays, but how many people buy Blu-ray CDs in Nigeria?
Blu-ray
DVDs.
Nobody
DVDs
got
rather.
time for that.
They're expensive, you know?
Can we just leave it in cinemas, go watch it in cinemas?
I guess.
The challenge with that is that after a year, if I don't have time this month or next month, it wouldn't be there 6 months from now.
There was a movie.
Yeah, but that would be your fault.
Well, you know.
There was a movie that I did not like when I saw it. I didn't see. I saw it. I saw the trailer. I saw the poster. I did not like it, but I saw it on the flight, and I thought, okay, so this is that's another avenue as well. So selling to aviation companies and airlines as well, for them to have certain rights to screen such movies as part of their flights booking. But anyway, what do we know? Something we know though is that Mavin Records had I don't know if it's less than average 2018. They didn't naturally perform very well. And in 2018 with the news that what's his name, Ricardo Banks was leaving, he's announced his departure from Mavin Records. And then some people were asking questions. One of the questions that was raised was from one Ambrose Okoli on Twitter, where he tweeted on January 8th, actually, that's on Tuesday this week. He said, he said, first of all, he addressed this to Don Jazzy. He says, Mr. Jazzy, is Mavin dead or Buhari's change has hit your label? This one, your top artists are leaving. And Don Jazzy replied, nah, we never die. We just faint small if it happen. Pray for us to recover if you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal. There's certain people that make the greatest artists in this world, or even for musicians, whatever it is, once it has to do with creativity, they always have their downside. So I think it's probably what Mavin is going through right now. Let's not also forget that Mavin also had backing of certain people in terms of finances and stuff.
Okay.
Those artists a lot of those artists that were signed in quotes to Mavin, they had their own sponsors, not particularly, they were not being funded directly by Mavin or Don Jazzy himself.
Okay.
So it's understandable if when people start leaving, if whoever was sponsoring your project under Mavin is done with you, or your contract is done with the person, hey, you can as well move on and nothing will stop that. But coming back to Faint, and also I mean there's always room for restructuring, replanning and everything. But I don't know, for Don Jazzy as a businessman,
yes,
I really don't know what his own plans are. I don't know what
I'm very
production,
optimistic. He has
I
big
don't know.
plans for 2019 because people are looking.
Optimistic.
I don't think there
I
are
don't
that
know,
many
man.
talents in Mavin. I don't think the talents there are fantastic. And the reason I say this is
Tiwa Savage is still there.
Tiwa Savage
What do
is
you
good.
mean?
She's awesome. She's awesome.
So-
But look at
But after Tiwa Savage,
look at
Kayode
what's his
Bello.
Kayode Bello. He's
Jazzy.
not hungry. DJ, she's not hungry. And same
are
thing.
they still on the label?
Inyanya, that left.
Yeah.
No, I know he walked away. He left the label. So
Mm.
here's what I'm saying. There is no creativity. The only person I think is creative right now
Yes.
is Johnny Drill.
Ooh.
Johnny Drill is the only one.
Okay.
And I think they need to look outwards and start looking for hungry artists that are looking to be successful. That's how they can survive this resurgence that they're talking about.
Okay. Don Jazzy is listed, but he said they fainted small, so it's fine. They revived themselves. Lagos, the Grapevine is brought to you by Verve. You're listening here from Smooth 98.1. Now, Blessing from Maboro sent this one. It says, hi. Lionheart was great. The storyline was good. Picture of video quality was great. All our movies must not end with us having wicked family members who take over our parents' wealth. I'm sure that's what most people are expecting, but their twist was good. Now, there are a few lessons to learn from that movie. Not like we're marketing it, but then the movie taught a lot of valuable lessons. First, not every family is looking for a downfall.
Yes.
Yeah, they are sometimes they're there with a genuine intention to support you as well. But because of spoiler alert, I'll just stop.
Also,
But,
let's also add that it also shows that the girl child is also important.
Of course.
Yes,
You
true
understand?
story.
Yeah, so ordinarily, we would have thought maybe the brother they wanted to hand over to the uncle because
It's
they,
okay.
they didn't think the girl could handle it.
Spoiler,
You understand?
spoiler,
I got the
spoiler.
segment. It's on Netflix. Go
I
watch it.
think
Lack
again,
of producer is
just so
thinking.
we can move on.
Okay, I'll
right?
keep quiet.
You can find love in unusual places as well. So Daniel from Last Segment
Come on, like we were maybe in the movie.
Lakumi is our producer. She's just kind of shouting in the background. Daniel from Lasso says, good morning, guys. I'm an artist. Please, can you recall your sites we can post our songs to? And do you guys allow covers of songs? Yes, we do. You can send it. It's not a website. It's actually an email address. I saw somebody's message just sent in the songs on WhatsApp. Well done there. Send it to email breakfast@smooth91.fm. Quick message here from Cruz. Cruz says, there are digital pirates as well. Peer-to-peer softwares do it.
Believe that, man.
And most of us here are guilty. Most of you guys are guilty. I'm not.
Pinocchio.
Say no to piracy.
Yes, say no to that. And let's move on to Simi and Adekunle Gold. They tied the knot yesterday. How many of you were invited? No one.
We were here at work.
Whatever
We
told-
couldn't go now.
Shame. So they had a guest list of 300.
That is a lot of people.
Yes, and I didn't know this, but I suspected that was going to happen right after Adekunle Gold. Actually, after Simi's concert, I suspected that was going to happen. So weeks after holding their private introduction ceremony, Nigerian singers Simi and Adekunle Gold concluded plans to make it official yesterday with their traditional wedding. Now, before this news broke, the suspicion was, or rather speculations were that it was illegal marriage, was law court wedding. Simi stumbling over the words, like I don't even know what a court wedding is. Well, it was a court wedding that they were trying to do, but then it turns out that it's a traditional wedding, because I remember yesterday somebody was asking me the question, why do they invite 300 guests to a court wedding? I'm saying it's reception, right? So anyway, it was a traditional wedding. It was held at Victoria Island yesterday, and they wrapped it up. I saw the kids video.
Yeah, Kiss Daniel's video.
No kids, Daniel. Hello. Kids which are Adekunle Gold and
You may kiss the
They
bride.
kiss every time.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like people like Pheelz were crying, so I was part of the crew.
He was crying?
Yeah, we shared an emoji on Instagram with a crying face. It was real.
Like he was hot.
Or he was emotionally,
Why are you asking me this question?
No, you seem to have a lot of information. I'm just trying to get more gist.
Oh, you know what? Big shout out to both of them. It's rare to see two musicians,
Rare?
in
Should I give you
Nigeria.
examples?
In Nigeria,
Hello.
it's rare in Nigeria to see musicians tied and not together. And I like the fact that they're both at the top of their game. They've not been
Very
distracted.
talented.
Someone
bunch.
said to me one time that, how is it possible that Adekunle goes on tour and he doesn't, and I
He does.
and I'm like, and I'm like, you know what? I like the fact that this has happened. So it's a great way to go for them.
But don't forget that they've been together for a long time, even before
Yes.
they
It became
came into the
successful.
main lights. Shout out to them, and I mean that's loyalty.
But that's a legit question.
And I hope they stay together for as long as
Yes,
You know,
we
they
pray
should-
for
they
them.
don't want to hear one
It was a
story
beautiful
tomorrow.
union. I really love it, and I want this to be something that will continue to be spoken about 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years, further, and that they make great songs together. And that's a pun. Moving on, the 24 years after the first installment, Will Smith has confirmed, he hinted it on his Instagram handle months ago, but then him and Martin Lawrence are finally coming together back on set to produce Bad Boys 3. How many of us are excited for this one?
I'm not.
I don't
Why?
know. You see all these cliches that's
Can they
coming
just
out
do
in
something else?
2019.
They can make another movie. Give us something. Why Bad Boy?
Maybe Martin Lawrence needs the money. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
And Will doesn't.
Will Smith?
Yes.
No, he doesn't need the money.
Says who?
It's not him. Martin Lawrence might need the money, but you know what? Bad Boys 3, it wouldn't be a bad idea. We would
It'll be
enjoy the
funny. It'll be
movie.
nice, but I just feel like they should come up with something else.
Exactly. You know, it's like Men in
Fast
Black.
and Furious,
Fast and Furious. We've seen it one too many times.
Avengers.
No, not Avengers. Don't go there.
I don't want to see Avengers again.
Why? It's coming up April 26th.
I
the day
know.
my
After that
birthday,
one, they
you'll
should
see
not do
it.
another
I'll
one.
force you to the cinema to see it.
Ah.
What do you mean? Avengers, the whole Marvel? Hello. Bad Boys 3, I'm seeing it. In fact, before the release, I'm going to watch it.
Rush Hour 4.
I'm offended.
No.
No.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
Yende sent in a message here on the Grapevine. Yende says at Kayode, thank you for the enlightenment you offered on filming technologies. That's right, spoken like a true filmmaker.
You're welcome.
And of course, Biggie from K2 sent that one. It says people should stop remixing great songs. Why would Adekunle remix Ire? Have you seen Burna Boy remix any of his songs? Yes. That's why he's unique. To Lionheart, the movie is everywhere. Piracy cannot be killed in Nigeria because no support from the government. And Adekunle and Simi, they are the coded bad guys.
Yes, I agree.
I pray for a long-lasting marriage for them. Same here, same here. And then Tessan sent a message. Said, please help me get to Don Jazzy. Tell him I'm waiting. Tessan, first start by sending your song to us. Send it through the email breakfast@smooth981.fm. And then, guys, how many of us heard this gist? I want us to dive very quickly into this before we wrap up the show today. R. Kelly wants to sue everybody involved in the Lifetime show.
Feel free. Can you afford it?
Can they have what?
Can he
He
afford
can't afford it.
He can.
So everybody. Do you know how many people that were on that whole thing?
Do you know how many streams his songs have had so far since this whole controversy started? Picked back
So
up
what? They
again?
lied on him?
Well, he said that although he did not watch the show, but that reports have
What?
kept him abreast of what's been going on. His team has been educating him of the information and how many people were involved in it. He said the strong words that were used by sources close to the singer. They said that he is disgusted by the series, which he claims is a vendetta against him by the people who hate him. He claims to not know half of the people involved in the show, while the other half hate him just because. In his words, this is what he told reporters. He says he's going to, actually, one of the sources said he's going to sue everybody who had anything to do with this, including John Legend.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
You know, the problem here is this. For this R. Kelly story, there is no smoke without fire. So he can cry foul all he wants, but it is what it is, really. And if he tries to sue them, they'll counter-sue him. And I know he's trying to probably say it's defamation, but then again, he's profited from
Defamation,
this.
if you
But how they-
abuse people and they come forward to, make claims or make statements against you,
One of them has
There's the
to
truth
stick.
against
One of them
yours,
is going
right?
to
Okay,
stick.
why are they not suing? Why is somebody not taken into court for this? All
Well,
of
it
these
starts here.
allegations?
The first start laying out the evidences and getting people to testify against them. This is admissible in court as well. All these videos and the records.
Yeah, but in the
Sure.
case of Bill Cosby, just pop straight to court. This one, this is something fancy. Somebody's going to make money from this whole thing.
But we heard that his brother just recently granted an interview saying that the older sister molested himself and R. Kelly when they were young.
Is that an excuse?
So it's a
He's
fallout from what's
alluding
happening.
it to the reason why they're behaving anyhow. So Jeff Bezos is divorcing his wife after 25 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Amazon's owner, and he said they would have done it earlier than this if they knew better. But yeah,
Okay, here's the thing about that story, right? Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So if they go through with the divorce,
they'll share half the property. you
half the
think?
property,
What if
right?
they had a
And then,
prenup?
hold on one second.
Okay.
She would be the richest woman in the world, and Jeff Bezos will fall to about
50.
50 or thereabout.
Yeah. He'll be
Irony of
back.
life.
He's fine.
Irony
I
of
don't think
life.
it's bothered.
Look, divorce is difficult. We talk about this all the time. So I don't know how. Good luck to them.
Yeah. Anyway,
Good luck to them.
that's where we'll wrap it up on the show. The Grapevine 981 today. Thank you so very much for your messages. For those still asking for the email to submit their songs, please submit it to breakfast@smooth981.fm. A special thanks to James Silas for coming. Thank you very much. You can catch him at James Silas on Instagram and Twitter. He's filming us right now on Instagram Live. You can catch him as well. And Kayode and myself, Valentine, will be here for the top of the hour where we get to talk Lagos. We're expecting your call on 0144-89981. We'll bring back up one of the stories treated earlier inside the Freshly Pressed 981. But the Grapevine was brought to you by Verve.